I burst through the sliding doors of City General ER at exactly 9:47 p.m. on March 28th, my 6-year-old daughter Mia limp in my arms, her lips already turning blue and her chest heaving with tiny, desperate gasps. The waiting room smelled like bleach mixed with old vomit, and the fluorescent lights buzzed so loud they made my teeth hurt. Somebody help her. I shouted, my voice cracking. Mia's little hand clutched my shirt, weak and clammy. She had eaten a granola bar at the park an hour earlier. Turns out it had hidden peanut dust. Her known allergy had never been this bad before, but now her throat was swelling shut right in front of me. Nurse Carla sat behind the triage desk, now tag crooked on her scrubs, eyes glued to her phone. She didn't even stand up. She just rolled her eyes and pointed at the clipboard stack. Sir, have a seat and fill out the forms. We have actual emergencies tonight. First time dads always exaggerate. I stepped closer, Mia's hot forehead pressed against my neck, her wheezing loud enough for the whole room to hear. Look at her, she can't breathe. Her allergy bracelet is right here. She needs epinephrine now. I held up her arm so Carla could see the red medical alert tag. Carla sighed like I was wasting her time and finally glanced over. Honey, stop being so theatrical. You're disturbing the other patients who are in real pain. Kids get dramatic all the time. Probably just a little cold or a tantrum. Toughen up if you want her to grow into a strong girl. She laughed, actually laughed, and went back to typing on her keyboard. Every parent thinks their kid is special. I've been doing this for 21 years. I know fake symptoms when I see them. My stomach twisted. Mia started crying softly between gasps. Daddy, it hurts. Can't breathe. I showed Carla the timer on my phone. Symptoms had hit 42 minutes ago. Her throat is closing. Please, just check her oxygen. Carla waved me off without looking up. Ma'am, no, sir. Sit down, Dad, if you can't control yourself and your daughter. I'll have to ask you to wait outside in the parking lot. You're scaring everyone. She turned to the security camera like she was performing for it. Another parent, a mom with her own sick toddler, stood up and stepped forward. Nurse, are you blind? This little girl needs help right now. Carla physically pushed the clipboard toward her and yelled, don't tell me how to do my job. Everyone quiet down. The whole waiting room went silent except for Mia's ragged breathing. Carla covered the big red button that opened the secure doors to the treatment area with her hand. Her fingers spread like she owned the place. In this city, the nurse at the front desk decides if your kid lives or dies that night, and nobody questions the scrubs. I begged harder, voice shaking. I'll give you $120 cash right now. Just get a doctor to look at her. I pulled the bills from my wallet and held them out. Carla acted like I wasn't even speaking. She kept typing, ignoring every word. Her face set in that bored, entitled stare. Mia's body started trembling uncontrollably against me. My arms burned from holding her 48-pound frame, but I couldn't put her down. Sweat poured down my back even though the room was freezing. My heart slammed against my ribs so hard I felt dizzy, like the floor was tilting. Inside my head I kept thinking, this can't be happening. I should have driven to the big hospital across town. Why did I trust this place? Mia's eyes fluttered half closed, and a thin line of drool mixed with foam slipped from her mouth. My hands shook so bad I almost dropped her. The fear tasted like metal in my mouth. I wanted to scream at Carla, but all I could do was whisper to Mia, stay with me, baby. Daddy's got you. I couldn't wait anymore. I shifted Mia higher, adrenaline making her feel light as air, and lunged forward. I shoved Carla's hand off the button hard enough that her chair rolled back. The doors buzzed open. I ran straight past her, ignoring her shouts of, you can't do that. Security. The first doctor I saw was a young woman in green scrubs checking charts at the nurse's station. She took one look at Mia, and her face went white. Oh my god, severe anaphylaxis. Crash cart now. AP, oxygen, get her sats. They ripped Mia from my arms and worked on her right there in the hallway. Monitor screamed. Her oxygen level read 65%. She stopped breathing completely for 45 seconds while they fought to get the tube down her throat. I stood there frozen, sweat stinging my eyes, legs like jelly. 2 hours later, after they moved Mia to the ICU and she finally opened her eyes asking for her stuffed bear, the doctor pulled me aside. Her voice was quiet but furious. Why wasn't she seen immediately? This should have been treated the second you walked in. Another 10 minutes, and we would have lost her. Permanent brain damage or worse. The parent, told you the symptoms. That's the only thing that matters. I started crying right there in the hallway. Big ugly sobs I couldn't stop. Mia had almost died because one nurse decided we were faking it. I went back to the waiting room, phone still recording in my pocket the whole time. Legal here because I was part of the conversation. Carla saw me coming and smirked. See, the doctors fixed your little drama. You should have just listened to me and waited like I said. I kept my voice flat and calm. Actually, my daughter stopped breathing twice. The hospital just reviewed the security footage and my full audio recording. You're fired effective immediate. Security is on the way with your termination papers, and the state nursing board opens an investigation on your license first thing tomorrow morning. Her face drained of all color. The security guard walked up right then, handed her a folder, and pointed to the exit. Every person in the waiting room stood up and stared. Carla grabbed her phone and purse and ran out the door without another word, shoes squeaking on the tile. Some people in scrubs forget that one wrong call can end a life, and the paperwork always catches up. We got the hospital bill 3 days later. $76,543.21 for the ICU stay, the breathing tube, and all the meds. The lawsuit against the hospital and Carla made sure we paid zero. They settled fast to keep it quiet. Carla never worked another shift anywhere in the state, and that's how one entitled nurse learned her 21 years of power ended with a single shove of a button and a cold voice telling her she was done.